Sometimes getting out of bed in the morning is a lot to deal with all at once.
Well, she didn't have any trouble getting out of bed this morning. Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room is with us. Good morning, Jerry.
Morning.
And thanks for coming in.
Camera here, Glenn here, Angel here.
You'll get used to it. Thank you so much for coming in, Dr. Jerry. It's so good to see you.
I promise, and I keep my promises.
Okay, but today is not such a happy topic, though.
Oh, no, yeah.
We're
so
talking
there
about
are so
bullying.
many different difficult topics to talk about. Or in the papers recently, so we picked bullying on display. So that's the recent one, I think, that has been, circulating and trending. And I think it really troubles me because the video was actually taken by the bullies themselves.
That happens most of the time, though, don't you think?
Most of the time, you have the bystander taking. The last few years, we did see bullying, but it was a bystander that actually took the video. That means they're not part of the whole group.
Yeah.
But what struck me was actually the video was actually taken by a perpetrator. That means the group of them, and one of them, all of them are perpetrators, and one of them is videoing.
Bragging rights.
They're fearless.
No,
Yeah.
No, they're fearless.
No,
you know
yeah,
why? Because
because-
they're not afraid of getting suspended
No,
or
they're
expelled.
not. And especially since that was done in school.
Yeah.
It wasn't even done, at in a void deck or in a hawker center or wherever else they bully, but this was done in school under
Yeah.
the school's watch as well.
Yeah, so it is troubling because you see that in adults where they video the antics and they go you see what I can do, you know. So a lot of voyeuristic exhibitionist sort of behavior, right? But insofar it has not come down to the school level. So this time we're actually seeing somebody, uploading it on their own.
You see, which is why I feel when you're an adult and you get bullied, let's say, in an organization, that is very, very hard, to control. That's beyond your control. But in school, it is still within your control. And I've always encouraged parents to get their kids to, self-defense classes, martial arts classes, because it is the only way. When I was a kid, I was bullied too, right? But I can tell you right now that as kids, your kids, if you teach your kids to don't hit back, don't, to be more passive than aggressive, there's always a chance that they are going to be bullied.
But taking self-defense classes is not about being aggressive.
No.
It's at least just about defending
Exactly.
yourself, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly,
but we
you
don't
defend
use-
yourself, and but you see, there's so many people say, "Oh, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this." It does not help the kid. If a kid is confident after taking some martial arts classes and all that, right, he'll be able to stand up for himself.
Yeah, and it's
He
all
will
about confidence.
He will never allow himself to be bullied beyond a certain point.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
You know what I
totally
mean?
agree.
So
Yeah.
there's all this talk and stuff like that,
Yeah.
But it is still within the control of the parents and the kids when it
Caregivers,
comes
yeah.
to schools.
I agree.
This is my point of view.
Sure. So
But you are anti-violence, that's why.
anti-violence, but also the how I think the confidence bit. How can we build their confidence?
Yeah.
So that the numbers go down.
Right.
I mean, the numbers appear very small. So the papers last year reported in October 2024 was 2 out of 1,000 students in primary school is being bullied, and only 6 incidences in secondary school, covering both online and physical bullying. So I'm just quoting, the report from October 2024.
Okay. But these are things that are reported. I'm sure
These
there are a
are
lot
things that are reported.
that haven't gone
Okay,
reported.
let's continue this conversation on the Big Show TV. Up.
But you were talking about confidence building. How do we build that confidence? Taking self-defense classes, because I have to agree with Glenn on this. I mean, I am anti-aggression, but I am not I am pro-confidence. And these self-defense classes will give the child confidence.
Without a doubt.
You know what I mean? I mean, they because you are afraid of something that you don't know. right? But once you know how to protect yourself, you gain that confidence to stand up to people.
Yeah, and here's I'm going to throw something positive in this, like the guys who have been bullied, they've been punched and kicked and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If they were to take up like some self-defense classes now, so that they'll be able to defend themselves in future, they will be even more confident. You know why? Because they have already been punched and kicked.
Yes.
They know the feeling. A lot of people don't know the feeling of getting punched or that pain you suffer when someone hits you.
And how to react.
And so they remain afraid
Of
their
course,
entire lives.
yeah.
Oh no, please
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
punch me. But it'll come to a point where, come lah. It's okay. I'm not afraid anymore. You punch me, but you better knock me out right now, because if not, I'm going to defend myself. I know it's not something
But that sounds like you're
that's
going to attack
encouraged.
back. It's
I
not
will-
really defending.
No, so for me, right? I mean, personally, if someone punches me, I'll punch him back.
That's not
It's
defense, though.
It's as simple as that.
That's reaction.
Tit for tat.
That's
So
tit for
in
tat,
life,
yeah.
Tit for
as I
tat.
mentioned earlier
Yeah.
on, right? There are victims, and there
The
are
perpetrators.
Yeah, I'm not saying that everyone should go out there and bully people. No,
Yeah.
I'm not talking about bullying here. I'm just talking about defending yourself and letting that person know that if you try anything else, I'm going to defend myself, even if it means like hitting you back.
That I don't agree with.
Wait.
I agree with the defense, but I don't
That's
agree
the problem
with...
when you talk to women, I think.
No, I don't
Okay.
think it's a woman thing. Come on.
And then when there are all these bullying in
let's
school, oh my
backtrack. So bullying is a repeated behavior because there's
Okay.
teasing. There's
Yeah.
a little bit of having fun, making jokes, but bullying is really that repetitiveness of a certain behavior.
Yeah, so if a bully bullies you, then you turn into a bully and you bully that bully back.
A lot of time, bullies become bullies, right?
The bullet
The bullied become
becomes
bullies. Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't want to encourage that also. So there's this feeling of powerlessness and helplessness. I think when we want to develop or build confidence, we want to equalize the power. We want to ensure that the victim is not helpless or does not feel helpless. So that's what we intend to do, because there's an inequality in that power there.
Yeah.
So if we look at some of the situations where the bully comes with a group of people. you
Yeah,
know?
that's just weakness.
So strength in numbers. I've
Yeah.
got strength in numbers, and you're
Only
only,
one person, yeah.
Yeah. So that already there's an inequality there. So you want to equalize it.
Take the group of people away and you do one to one.
I don't understand the situation that you were just mentioning.
About the group of
Yeah,
bullies?
so let's say you got 5 guys
Yeah.
who wants to bully one,
Which is
one
what
guy.
happened here. in
Yeah,
this video.
exactly. So when you say equalize, what do you mean?
Yeah, how?
Okay. So usually there's strength in numbers, and the bully wants to isolate the person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we see that dynamics and we understand it, then we don't permit that dynamics to happen.
How?
So we go to our friends, and that's why the bystanders are so important. So if someone is bullying me and I'm just like, slinking into the corner, and you happen to be walking by, I will call, right? Glenn, Angel, come. And then with the more numbers on my side, the other guy with however many would think twice whether he still wants to proceed or not, because I'm no longer one.
Yeah, but people don't do
yeah,
that,
exactly.
though, yeah.
There's so many people who are cowards. They won't go into a situation like that, right?
Yeah.
Because you know why? They've never been punched and kicked
No,
before.
and
so they don't want to be in that situation. Yeah, it's true.
So I used to, not used to, I'm not a superhero, but there was once that I was, I think it was in Clarke Quay, and I saw a guy hitting a girl up against a wall.
Okay.
And I went to him. I was with my then partner or whatever.
Yeah.
And I went to him and I pulled him away and I said, "You stop." Right? And I sort of diffused the situation. Then other people came up. But that was before social media. Nowadays, people don't want to help because they don't want to be on camera. They don't, and then they'll be like, "Oh, no, that's their own business. We cannot get involved and all that." So people have this very selfish behavior, and me now as well, especially in the public eye, I think twice if I see something like that now. I want to help.
Yep.
I'm like dying to help.
But
then
you're doing the right thing.
I know, but
Yeah.
then a lot of people will take things out of context. I know I'm doing the right thing and I don't want to be stopped, but people around me will be like, no, dude, it's none of your business, you know?
So then the power lies with the social media and how the bullies use the social media. In this situation, like you say, the bully has used the social media for bragging rights. And no one, not no one, people seem to condone it. So therefore, they continue to do that. So are we going to be
Stand by.
a bystander? Are we, going to play into their game?
Many people will still be bystanders.
Many people,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Including you, Dr. Geraldine Tan. I'm quite sure that depending on the situation, you would be a bystander
I think
too.
she will
I would
go
be a
up.
bystander too. She will be a bystander too. Okay, hold on. We're back on The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today is Dr. Geraldine Tan, and very interesting. We're talking about bullying today. I have very, very different views from Jerry and from Angel. I'm all about defending myself and not depending on the people around me, because you can't. You can only defend yourself, and hopefully people will help you. But if I'm going to go out there and think that people, the bystanders are going to help me out, no. And as I mentioned earlier on, right, depending on the situation, I think we are all very capable of being bystanders, because we'll look at that situation and think, okay, should I go in right now and diffuse the situation?
Yeah.
Because it's none of my business,
Yeah.
So, Jerry, you're saying to equalize, you're encouraging everyone right now, if they should come across a situation like that, to go in and help someone who is outnumbered.
Don't be a bystander.
Well, we need to look at the situation. Totally agree with you. I love the challenge, and this is a challenge I'm going to throw to everyone. Like, if a situation does happen outside, would you step in, and why? Or what will help you to step into that situation?
If
Well,
it's
someone
kids,
is-
yes, I'll step in. No
Someone
problem.
who's
If it's
weaker than the
adults,
person who is...
a bunch
who's
of what do you call abangs and
Oh, no,
gangsters. I'll
If
think
there's
twice.
harangues
Yeah.
and it's not safe, I would say don't step
If
in.
it's a man bullying a woman, obviously, Joshua Tay has come on and said, I completely agree with Glenn. I've taught my son to finish it if someone starts it. I'm all about self-defense and standing up for the people who can't. I agree with that. Raymond Francis says, good morning. The thing about school bullies is that basically they are only brave in numbers, and they approach their victims in numbers. The victim will feel hapless and coward into submission. Ashley says, does encouraging children to take up sports, any physical sport or anything at all, help to build physical presence and hence confidence to stand up for themselves?
So, the physical aspect of it is very useful. So you have taekwondo, you have all the different martial arts, you have self-defense. But confidence doesn't just come from that physical aspect. It comes from knowing what you can do. So knowing what your strengths are. Because the bully only know one strength. I hit you, or I use the
I'm bigger than you.
online-
Yeah.
So you have like physical bullying, cyberbullying, verbal bullying. I can use words better than you. Or social bullying. I isolate you, or I get you into trouble and I gloat and you cannot do anything about it. So the 4 different types of bullying, right? Physical, cyber, verbal, and social bullying.
Those are a bit more complex, I have to say. But when it comes to physical bullying, I think that's the easiest to tackle.
I mean, we're talking about helping the victims, but what about helping the bullies?
Yes.
Do they require, they must require
do.
help.
So just now we mentioned, right, many of these bullies have issues also.
You give them one bloody big slap, they'll wake up.
They need boundaries, yes. So sometimes the slap needs to come from the parent or, the authority. So
Well, they're getting
not
caned, I know, these boys.
But many of them have self-esteem issues.
Yeah.
Some of them, they have family issues that we don't know.
Yeah, it comes from somewhere.
It comes from somewhere.
Yeah, but still no excuse. Okay, let's continue
Well.
to talk about this on The Big Show TV. picking on a smaller guy, like in school and all that, it's not.
Yeah.
No, I don't
But
care
they're-
what's happening in their family. You don't pick on a helpless person.
It's
But
not
they're not.
cool.
Yeah,
It's not
it's not
cool.
cool. But I don't understand it. But I know that they're not given the proper outlet to vent whatever it is they're feeling, and so they pick on the first thing that they see that won't fight back for themselves. I'm not giving. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's not an excuse. Matthew has said, Angel, it depends on the martial arts one learns. Some teach you how to avoid and deflect an attack as a form of defense. And then there are some martial arts where attack is the best form of defense, whereby the best way to defend yourself is to knock out or disable the other party so that he cannot attack you.
Yes, Krav Maga.
Krav Maga, yes.
Oh.
I've always wanted to take that away.
But Krav Maga is good because you can use it to defend yourself and you can be offensive as well. You know, and you learn it in a shorter time. It's, you know, unlike some of the other
Oh, yeah?
martial arts where it takes, it takes a
Years.
long time
Yeah,
for you to,
yeah.
to be well-rounded, so to speak.
So we should teach martial arts in school.
I honestly
I took
think
martial arts in school.
I think they have martial arts in school.
As in one of the subjects. Should it be?
as
Subjects.
in mandatory.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree because it should be for both girls and boys. I think everyone should have at least some form of self-defense, and it's not just about bullies. It's about attackers when you travel, when you go down an alleyway, whatever it may be. Stand up for yourself, have confidence, because as we
Yeah.
know, it builds confidence.
But of course,
right?
Singapore schools being Singapore schools, they go like, no, if we do that, then
We're
people are
encouraging-
going to start to
That's
fight,
nonsense.
in school.
No.
That's the mindset that we have to
That
change.
gives them a little bit of an outlet also. I don't know if we are on air or off
Facebook.
Yes.
We can play the audio because I actually do want you all to hear something that
Okay.
I heard, on the clip itself.
Okay, can we play it?
Cepat, 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 cepat. Cepat. Cepat, cepat. Cepat.
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Oh. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Cepat, cepat, cepat.
That guy's vocabulary is a bit limited.
Sounds like just one guy is the leader as well. Send it to me on WhatsApp. That's what they said at the end, yeah.
He's crying.
Okay.
Is it?
Okay. So you hear a few voices there. So at least 3 different voices that you hear. The one that you hear closest to the mic is the one that is videoing. And he was saying cepat, cepat, cepat,
yeah.
which is hurry, hurry, hurry.
Get it done.
He sounded like the
Telling-
youngest one because his voice is still hasn't cracked yet.
But he's telling and goading the other 2 or
Hurry
1
up.
or 2 to hurry up to chase after the little one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
There you
First-
go. We got some
so first of all,
screenshots.
who is this person? So who is the perpetrator? He did not hit. So the one that was videoing did not hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was videoing and goading the other 2. The other 2, so one was a little bit, hesitant, but ran forward. So the one that hit, is that the perpetrator or is that not the perpetrator?
They're all
Because
perpetrators.
He is following instructions. And then when you heard the whoa, is when the boy actually fell down. When they hit the boy and the boy actually fell down, everybody cheered. The one that was cheering the loudest was closest to the mic lah. So he was going, whoa. And then the second one. And then the one that you heard, send it to me on WhatsApp. That's another
That's
person.
another one. So there are at least 4.
So-
because there are 2 in front of the camera and
We don't
behind.
know how
Yeah.
many is behind the camera, right? But what is appalling is how much they are enjoying it. And if you hear carefully, there was no one saying the word stop.
yeah.
And we teach the children the word stop. So even before fighting back, the word stop needs to be imprinted in all the bystanders to just shout this word.
And there were
Even if
kids
you-
in the canteen
there
at
were
the
kids.
front. Yeah.
There were kids in the canteen. There are adults in the canteen.
Were there adults? Did we? Well, the
People were
vendors as well.
buying food. There were students buying food. So there
So
were
there would be
definitely
vendors.
adults in the canteen itself. So it was very, very heartbreaking when I saw that video.
What about the victim? Did the victim say stop?
The victim
Didn't
did
hear it.
not. So the
Yeah.
victim just continued walking, lovely, way. He must have been taught to just ignore and walk away.
Oh.
So we do teach them ignore and walk, and he did that. He ignored and he walked. He didn't do anything wrong.
But we also don't know who this victim is. Maybe this victim is an irritating kid.
No,
You know, I'm just saying. Since you guys are,
Sure,
looking at
okay.
all the
So-
angles and all, maybe he was I'm just saying. Maybe he was an irritant. Everybody hated him, and
So-
everybody was going like, "Yes, okay, he deserves it. Let's just look away." I don't know, right? I mean,
So you're right.
No, there are always
You're
three
right.
sides to a story. I totally agree.
Yeah. So victims, who are these victims? You pointed out one type of victim, the one that nobody likes. So therefore, this person is isolated,
Poor thing.
prime candidate for a bully to attack. So that's why, we look at the inclusive education. Why? Because we want to ensure that everyone at least has a buddy. So even the one that may not be too nice, may have social skills issue, may be a little bit pudgy, very skinny, very tall, very short, doesn't matter, has maybe a learning issue, has maybe a developmental issue, doesn't matter.
But I don't thi-
Everybody is included.
I don't think a person who attacks is a bully all the time. No. A person who attacks might have a reason to attack.
But like
a bully is someone who
Continuously,
constantly,
that's what she was saying,
picks on someone.
It's repeated.
Yes.
Yeah, it's repeated. Yeah. An
Someone-
attacker is different from a bully.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
Right.
Let's go back on air. Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today is Dr. Geraldine Tan from the Therapy Room. She is in the studio, and we're very thankful for that. Jerry, always nice to have you in the studio with us. We're talking about bullying today.
Yeah.
And we were trying to define a bully and someone who attacks early on. There is a little bit of a difference. Can I give you an example?
Sure.
Okay, so those guys who attack that victim, right? They're bullies. All right.
We assume because there's only ones that we've seen, right? They could just be attackers. We don't know the situation.
Okay.
No, like we were saying. I mean,
So-
we don't know if this has happened 10 times before and it
Right.
was caught once on camera, or if, like
But-
you
but
said,
they
the
are
boy
bul-
was irritating.
I mean,
and
a bunch of 5 people, on someone who's smaller than them and all that. I think that's a bullying situation. So in this case, I would consider them bullies.
Okay.
Right? But what I'm saying here is the difference is that victim, let's say if his good friend was not around while he was being attacked. And, the following day, I mean, this has gone out on social media and everything. The following day, that good friend of the victim attacks one of the bullies.
yeah,
That guy is not a bully.
he becomes an attacker.
okay.
He is an attacker.
I
This is
see.
my
Your scenario.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I
Okay,
mean? So an attacker
okay.
is not always a bully. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Okay. We have someone on Facebook. Tony, come find out. He says, Glenn, martial arts doesn't make you become. Okay, I don't know. This
Say it.
No,
Just say
is
it.
it IP Man or Ip Man? The movie.
Ip Man.
Ip Man, there you go. Because I always used to call it IP Man, but it's
Yeah.
not clearly. So, Glenn, martial arts does not make you become Ip Man. 1 versus 5 might get you beaten up more if everyone takes your advice.
Okay.
All will be martial arts trained and injuries will be worse. And then the victim might become too confident and challenge them. That's what
So
he's
Tony,
saying.
Tony is his name.
Tony.
So just stand there and let the person beat you up.
Okay?
Is that what you're saying, Tony?
what he? Yeah, I
No,
don't know
no.
what he's
So
saying. Yeah. I'm
Tony,
not
my
speaking on
my
his behalf.
point here is, if you are going to depend on the bystanders, then you're dead. Okay, you fight to the death. You defend yourself. If you get beaten up by 5 guys while you are fighting back, so be it. It's much better than not knowing how to do anything and just standing there and letting them beat you to death. This is what I mean, Tony.
Okay, we've got quite a few messages. Here's a long one. Anonymous messages that are coming through our
Okay,
WhatsApp.
okay.
Love this topic, and I've been talking about this with my wife as well. We have 2 primary school going girls. They have experienced bullying in school as well. We categorize bullying into 2 segments. Number 1, words. These may hurt emotionally, but that is where, as parents, we need to be the ones to listen to them, acknowledge them, and guide them through it. We teach our girls to ignore word bullies. Number 2, physical bullies. My younger one was shoved to the ground hard by a known bully back when she was only 8. My girl got back up and they ended up in a scuffle. Teachers had to separate them. My wife and I were informed of the case, but we told the teacher we do teach our kids to stand up for themselves, and if ever someone gets physical with them, we do give them the right to fight back.
Yes.
And hit back where it hurts the most.
Yeah.
And we will stand behind them if the school does call us.
Absolutely.
Now, disclaimer, we do not condone violence.
Of course.
We're just instilling/teaching our kids to stand up for themselves and not let people take advantage of them, because we can't always be there. Both of them are doing great in school today, having many great friends around them, and they help to look out for their friends as well and stand up for their friends who get bullied. A lot of it starts with us parents instilling into our children great morals and, yes, confidence.
Yeah, you got to stand up for yourself. If I had kids, I'd be a parent like
this particular anonymous
absolutely,
person. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, let's continue this conversation on The Big Show TV. Coming up very soon, the Cataracts and Dev.
This is brand new. Here's a
Someone else said, my kids are bigger in size, and due to that, they're always being targeted for initiating an argument, even if it wasn't their fault. As a mom, I get very upset with how the school or the discipline master is handling this. As much as I've told them not to retaliate, even if they do, they're always at fault. Based on their size.
Okay. So I love the parents writing in. So I'm hearing, and this is very important to help boost confidence for the children. So one, parents telling their kids, I believe you.
Yeah.
Because many times they get bullied and the parents will ask, did you start it? And the kid goes
Straight away.
Even if I tell you, there's no use. You don't even believe me. So one, I believe in you, and to let the children know you are in control, because they need to gain back their power, right? So you're in control. You are precious. Your body is precious. No one can touch your body. No one can touch you with words or otherwise, right? And brainstorm with your child. Find a solution. We can do it together so that your child does not feel isolated. I love how one of the parents, role play with the children. And, if somebody comes up to you, what can you do? What can you say? Where can you go? Resource the child. So all these are very, very important for the parent to let the child know. Because like you say, you cannot be there all the time.
We have Bernard that message, and he said we need to understand about a little bit more about that particular situation, because apparently the child that got bullied as well is being reprimanded.
Which is why I said just
So
now.
there could have been another story from before that happened that we did not see the lead up to it.
But it's,
Sure,
this
sure.
bullying situation has inspired today's
Topic.
discussion.
Yeah, so it's not
but
about
there have been
that.
so many other bullying
Yeah.
incidents,
that
terrible,
have had
terrible,
worse
right?
results as well.
Yeah,
So
the
many.
void deck and
So
and
many.
stairwells.
And it's not just boys, right? It's girls
Girls
as well.
also, yes. And
It's-
girls, we have the physical one, we have the social one.
Yeah.
So they tend
Yeah.
to be do a lot more social bullying and verbal bullying.
So you see, in both instances, guys and girls, just learn how to defend yourself and stand up for yourself. That's all.
I was listening to something on the radio the other day, and not in Singapore, but it could very well have been 3 teenage girls being charged for murder of a 75-year-old man in the UK. The youngest being 14.
Oh no.
So I don't know the situation, but I'm guessing it was some sort of bullying case.
There are many angry people out there.
Absolutely.
And a lot of the time it's
so
it's
young,
teenagers, and because the future is bleak for them. It's true. They feel discouraged. They hate everyone. They hate the world.
Well, a lot of teenagers hate the world and hate everyone. That's why they call them angsty teenagers.
Yeah.
They have,
Well,
you know,
even more
hormones
angsty
and-
now than during our time. I
Yeah.
think.
It's sad.
But we were talking about the bullies also having some issues, right? So if we look at from a more clinical angle, you have oppositional defiant disorder, you have conduct disorder, ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which causes a lot of impulsivity. Some of them do have personality disorders, and we did speak about family issues also. So we do want to help the bullies. So we don't want them to feel helpless also, because sometimes they bully because they feel helpless too. Yeah.
So we spoke about resources earlier. I mean, like how it's important, not just for the bullied, but the bullies as well, to have the proper resources to go to sort out whatever they need to sort out. So what kind of resources can both sides?
So schools, many
to?
schools do have really wonderful teachers that will believe in the child and can teach the child where to go, or that they can come to them should the need arise. So school teachers, if you're in school teachers are very, very important.
You become a rat. You know what I mean? And no one wants to be a rat.
That's what the bullies make you think.
No, but I mean, you instill in your child as well, don't call anyone out.
But this behavior needs to be called out.
I know, but a lot of kids won't do it, because what if they're caught alone with them when they leave the school?
So then the next thing is stay with your genuine friends. A lot of times I ask these kids, do you need to just hang out with the bullies or these mean people? They say no. Say then who else do you have? Your friends that believe in you, that care for you. Hang out with them. Be with them. Don't, just
find yourself in that
break
situation.
away from that group, right? So be with your group of friends. Personally, we always teach them the word stop. I think maybe I learned it from one of the interns who did boxing or who does boxing. So the word stop, it's really stop and take a step back. So T is take a step back. So when you stop, you need to look for safety. So take a step back, and then you observe your environment. Are you safe? Are you not safe? Where can you go before you proceed? And where do you proceed? Proceed into a crowd. Proceed into a community.
Crowded places.
Yeah, so that is something that they can do for themselves.
We've got another message that's come through on WhatsApp, but maybe read it on air. It's someone who has a completely different perspective on the entire thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. I'd like to say a very good morning to my good friend Gary Ng, who is tuned in right now, and he is an Aikido black belt. He is also a very good instructor. He instructs kids as well over the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. So Aikido is another martial art that will build your kids' confidence, and it's very much a self-defense art.
Speaking of martial arts, somebody messaged in, "Hi, I'm a mom of 2 kids, one of whom was bullied and had to change secondary school because despite telling the school many times about the bullying, nothing stopped. Now, both my boys take martial arts and my elder boy has even fought in competitions. Despite that, I do not allow my boys to hit another person, although that person could be bullying them. I send my boys to school to study and not fight. 2 wrongs do not make a right. I feel the teachers and schools need to step in to do something instead. Kids and teens don't know their strength, and what if they permanently injure the other person in self-defense? There are many girl bullies as well, and those are worse because the boys can't hit them. So I've told my boys, for girl bullies, you let mommy handle them. For boy bullies, go to your school. But most importantly, do not hit back. Just deflect and run off."
With all due respect, TBM.
What's that?
Talk big mom. Because you know why? This mom is confident because she knows her kids can defend themselves. Okay? She's just saying it to make herself feel good. But if it's a situation where it's a life or death situation and that bully is going at her kids, she knows that her kids will be able to take care of themselves. So TBM, talk big mom.
But she's also instilled her boys
of course,
not to hit back.
Of course.
So what if they continue getting hit?
So what? I mean, I would love to talk to her in person.
Yeah.
So if someone charges, at their kids
The boys,
with a knife or something, just
Deflect.
just let that person stab me.
Then what's the point of the martial arts,
Exactly.
right?
That's what I'm saying. Talk big mom. She knows, she's confident that her kids can defend themselves and, if need be, will hit back.
Yeah.
All right, but of course, just to make herself feel good, she just tells her kids that.
No,
But she
okay.
knows. She knows.
She knows they can handle
They can
themselves.
handle
But the
themselves
key
and
word
protect
here.
themselves. That's
Yeah.
all parents want. Peace of mind. You know, that people might bully their kids, but to a certain point, their kids will
Yeah.
fight back.
Okay, so the key word here is protect yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
At all times.
Not hit
Not
the
hit
other
back.
person.
Yeah, but hit if you have to hit.
Okay.
Protect yourself.
Erwan has said, my wife disagrees, but I always tell my daughter if she is physically bullied and outnumbered, she should focus on becoming John Wick on one decisively. Like on the weakest, right? Even if it means the others might attack her. The idea is to show she's not an easy target
Yeah.
and could make the rest
Okay.
think twice before coming at her.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good
Okay.
approach.
So no one should harm you is the idea.
Yeah.
So yes, we shouldn't cause more harm to the other person.
But
Or
don't
we,
stand up
We
to it.
cannot harm another person, but no one should harm
Don't
you.
stand
So
for it,
do
yeah.
what you need to in order for no harm to come to you. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes
Okay,
a lot of
okay.
sense.
So no more fighting,
without stating the oh, but now you just spoiled it. Of course, you have to punch back and kick back,
Just blow at them. And I hope they go away.
but it's unspoken, right?
Yeah.
So parents will have to teach their kids the right thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
talk big mom, talk big dad, whatever. But deep down inside, they're like, okay, like just whack
Okay.
the fella back, like if he whacks
okay.
you.
To your point, so when Amber was really really small, Amber is my girl. When she
Yeah.
was really really young, right, and she had she was in I think nursery or something like that.
That's really small.
yes, really young. She came back with a bite mark.
Oh,
Love bite or what?
No.
No,
Teeth.
well,
Teeth?
it was by a guy, but it was a teeth mark
Yeah.
there. So I was told, Amber's mommy, you don't be alarmed, but she has this. And I was like, sweetheart, are you okay? And she had really, I think, just starting her language and everything. So she seemed fine. The next day, the teacher called me over. Said she bit the guy.
Oh, back. She bit the guy back.
She bit the guy back. And but the teacher managed it. And
Yeah.
the teacher spoke with the other parent because the day before the
He
parent
had
was
bitten.
already told
Yeah.
that, hey, your son actually bit another kid. And then the
Wait,
next
so the
day
guy
my
bit your daughter?
First.
Bit
First.
as in bit
Bite.
your daughter.
So there were bite marks. That
Yeah,
must have been
yeah,
quite
yeah.
hard. And then Amber went back the next day and bit him.
so I and she was very young, so it was hard to tell her don't put your teeth into someone else, but she stood up for herself. I mean, to your point, right?
Right.
But how
So-
young is too young?
What
I
an
mean, they could have
unusual-
taught. They could have been taught at that age already, right? Because clearly they knew an eye for an eye.
I have
You
no
know?
idea. So from that day, I knew nobody can bully her.
Okay, that's a good thing.
If not, she will not fight back, but bite back. Okay.
Feisty one.
Okay. Anyway, thank you, Jerry, for bringing up the topic. We have to wrap.
I think
right
you
now.
have a quote today,
Yes.
don't you?
But,
You want to
Yeah,
use your
you,
code?
you have a
but
quote.
mine is more a life thing. When life comes at you, fight back. That's my
Okay.
quote.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Not
have
good?
one that
No,
is
no, we think it's okay.
anonymous. I think I like yours since you say
I'm
fight
sure she'll
back.
do better than
No,
you.
no, it's
I'm
just
sure.
different. It's different perspective, right? So this is from somebody that is anonymous. Blowing out someone else's candle doesn't make yours shine any brighter.
Oh, I like that one. So much better than yours.
Yeah,
I really like that one.
No competition
more
here.
philosophical, Yours is more.
Luckily, I'm a gentleman. I'll take something away and throw it. Well,
We
brought up
don't-
well.
The Big Show does not advocate violence.
My mom says no matter what, no matter how bad a woman is or violent towards you, you can never lay your hand on a woman.
Okay.
or a
Totally
girl.
agree.
Yeah, so So I'm bullyable like that.
Bullyable.
That's why Angel always bullies me
didn't
on the
know
show.
There's
There's no such word. Yeah.
Thank you, Jerry, for joining us today.
Very glad to be here. Very intense conversation today.
Are you coming in again next week?
Come in, lah.
I'm not
come on.
promising anymore.
Okay.
Anybody message you about the sound quality? It's really good.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Jerry, for joining us today. Up next, Camila Cabello featuring Ed Sheeran. This is Bam Bam on Kiss 92.
Said you hated the